So what's next? It's pronoun errors. That's right. All the little pieces are coming together now, like pieces in a puzzle. First of all, what is a pronoun? Well, it's all those little words in a sentence like me, he, or she. These words refer to another subject. Whether you know it or not, you use pronouns every day, and you use them automatically and instinctively, more than Italians use cheese. This here is a nifty chart of pronouns. So go ahead and jot these down. I'll give you a moment. However, it is my guess that you already know them all. So it seems easy enough, right? What can possibly go wrong with pronouns? Well, three main ways, my friends. It's a holy trinity of pronoun errors. And right now, we're going to start with the father. Let's take a look at this suspicious sentence together. Everyone in the class walked home with their backpack. This sentence illustrates one of the ways that a pronoun can go wrong. But it sounds like something we'd hear in everyday life, right? It sounds like something I would say, I know. But surprise, surprise, it's actually incorrect. This is what we call pronoun agreement error. Write that down. Pronoun agreement error is when pronouns don't agree to the subjects. Problems with this simple rule occur when there are words like everyone, anybody, and each. That's because these words sound plural, but they're actually singular. These are trickster words, looking all plural but actually being single. You gotta love the English language. So actually, the correct way to write this sentence is this. Everyone in the class walked home with her backpack. There are other trickster words too, and you need to be able to spot them all. So get your pencils ready. I want you to jot down these tricksters. Anytime you see one of these words, a red flag should shoot right up. The SAT loves to test you on these words. So as soon as you see one, immediately check the sentence to make sure all verbs and pronouns relating to it is actually singular. That's right. Don't forget, you need to check the verbs as well as the pronouns. Make sure that they are both singular. A good way to help you remember these words is this simple rule of thumb. All words ending in one, thing, and body are singular. That's a neat little trick I try to remember. Think you got it? Well, let's look at some example sentences. Everybody in Texas is so friendly. Whoever wrote this must have never seen Friday Night Lights. Am I right? But you can see how we use the word everybody, and therefore we also use a singular verb is. Next sentence. Every student took his book to class with him. Okay, got it? It's not every student took their book. Instead, it's every student took his book, because every is singular. Anything he said was a lie. Anything is also, you guessed it, it's singular. Nothing, neither the buildings nor the people, ever changes around here. Kind of sounds like they're talking about my hometown. Well, again, nothing is singular. Last one. Each of the teammates performs her own role. You see, each is singular as well, so it's always each performs her role or his role, but never each performs their role. Got it? These are all examples of singular words, but they are tricky because they sound like they would be plural. Don't get sucked into their lies. You have been warned. Next up, we're going to move on to our second sentence, which represents our second type of pronoun error. It reads, "When I walk my dog in that neighborhood, you must follow a very strict leash law." Does something sound a little bit off there? Well, it should. The error is called pronoun point of view shift. And that happens when the pronouns shift within a sentence. For example, in this sentence, I say, "When I walk my dog in that neighborhood," but then I suddenly change it to say, "You must follow a very strict leash law." So which is it? Is it I or is it you? Who's walking? Who's following the strict leash law? Because you see, pronouns must be in the same person throughout a sentence. You don't want to go flip-flopping them from first person to second person or to third person. This is how you would correct the sentence. A correct sentence would read, "When you walk your dog in that neighborhood, you must follow a very strict leash law." You see how now the pronouns are all in second person. We're all talking about you now. You're walking, it's your dog, and you're following a strict leash law. All right, so now we're going to take a look at our last type of pronoun error. The sentence here reads, "The university presented the honor to David and he." But David and he? Does that sound right? Gosh, sometimes it's really hard to tell. But in this case, it's not right. And the error is called pronoun case error. And it happens when the case is wrong. But what do you mean? What's a pronoun case? And how can it go wrong? Well, I'll give you a clue. The correct sentence would read, "The university presented the honor to David and him." Okay, now you see the difference. It's David and him, not David and he. So that's the pronoun case. But you don't have to remember the fancy terms. Instead, you just have to be able to recognize the error. And I'm going to show you a pretty cool trick to help you always figure out which pronoun case is correct. And what's really cool about this trick is you don't really have to learn or memorize anything. You just have to apply this neat little tactic called separate and conquer. Any of you who play video games knows that it's easier to beat the enemy if you separate up his forces and take them piece by piece. By dividing up your pronouns, you can get a better look at each one. Let me show you with the same example. The sentence, "The university presented the honor to David and he." Okay, I'm going to separate the sentence out on the screen, but as you get used to it, you're probably going to just do it in your head. Now there are two sentences, and the first one reads, "The university presented the honor to David." Okay, that sounds good. The second sentence reads, "The university presented the honor to he." And that definitely doesn't sound right, does it? It really should be, "The university presented the honor to him." You see how much easier it is to detect these case errors with your ears as soon as you separate the pronouns? Before separating the two pronouns, the sentence sounded like it might be okay. But now, it's as clear as day that it is not okay. Now it's time for a little practice. We're going to go over a couple questions starting with this one. I'll give you 45 seconds. Time's up. Did you get answer choice D? Well, I hope not, because that's not the correct answer. The correct answer is E. In this sentence, what does the pronoun there refer to? Well, it refers to the television show Friends, which coincidentally is a singular noun. So therefore, we need a singular pronoun. Scanning the answer choices, I can immediately eliminate A and B because those answer choices still use the pronoun there. Next, we can eliminate answer choice C and D because that uses the plural pronoun they, and we already know that we want a singular one. Answer choice E is the correct answer. It is the most concise and clear without changing the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so answer choice E is the correct answer. Now let's try another question. I'll give you another 45 seconds. Time's up. So, did you manage to divide and conquer? Well, I hope so, because nothing is more boring than a bunch of mathematicians together. Just ask our math teacher, Ryan. He'll tell you. If you did divide and conquer the sentence correctly, the two parts will look something like this. A study conducted by him and a study conducted by the committee. Both pieces of that sentence sound fine, which is why E is the correct answer. There is no error here. And that's it for pronouns today. Woohoo, not too bad, right? I'm giving you the core concepts right now, but it's still up to you to review and practice.